Hiya folks, sorry about the collar. I've got a bit of a sore neck today, bit of neuralgia I think, but I thought I'd take this opportunity to have a look at this Clarke Metalworker 8-inch bench buffer polisher that I've acquired. So let's get it unboxed. Right, well, I've got a few different polishing methods. I'll show you one I used to use, but I actually bought this from Clarke first of all, and I was using this for a while. This, again, is a Clarke 4-inch polishing kit. Again, and it basically just, you take a grinding wheel off, for example, and you get these two buffers. One's for coarse and one's for fine polishing sort of thing. And you also get this buffing compound as well. That was the one I was using on my small grinder, but my small grinder was just left a bit wanting. And as I say, you had to keep changing the wheels over, which is a bit of an inconvenience. And before that, I bought one of these from Clarke as well, and this was one that you can put into a rotary drill, like a battery drill or a normal drill, and I clamped the drill in the vise, and I was using that, but people didn't like that idea. But I'm using buffers quite a lot now, definitely on my Retro Hacks channel. So rather than keep changing over wheels and discs, as you probably know, I've also got the 8-inch grinder, again, which I leave in situ, this one. This is another, again, the Clarke Metalworker range. And I use the wire wheel a lot. Very rarely use the grinding wheel, but I left it on there. But this one I'm using all the time, and it's an inconvenience to keep changing out. So basically, we got hold of this, and as you can see, another 8-inch one. And you can literally just leave this one in situ as well. Now, this comes with two buffing wheels, and they call it the stitched and open style polishing mop. One's for sort of coarse work and the other one's for fine work. So you can have them both literally installed, as you can see there, and just leave them. And again, like what I can do, you can bolt this to the workbench, which I'll probably be doing. A little bit of spiel about it there. If you want to freeze the page, you can just have a little read about it there. 370 watt motor, bench mountable, which is ideal for what I want. But I need to be able to take it off of a bench because I need the space. I've got very limited space here at the moment until I sort everything out. So let's get it unboxed, let's get it undone, and let's see what's in the box. This came from Machine Mart here in the UK. Clarke is one of their brands which they endorse, obviously, and I like Machine Mart stuff. I've never had any problems. Plus, I've got a local store to me anyway in Lincoln, so I can always find out if they've got stuff in stock. Probably manufactured in China, as is much stuff now, but I always sort of trust stuff which a company's put its name to, and Machine Mart use this on a regular basis. So this is what we get in the box there, as you can probably see there. We get the 8-inch buffer machine, we get the two buffer discs. So we'll pull this out first of all, stand it up, just bring it forward. There's some nuts and bolts, that's obviously for the end. Just put that box to one side, just push this back for a minute. There we go. So that's the actual machine. So let's get these out first of all. What I should do is to read the instructions. What you're given is 2 collets and 4 washers. 2 are obviously for each side. So I'll have a quick look at the leaflet and find out which order they go in. So you get these 2 polishing mops, as you can see. One's the floppy one, one's the stitched one. And these nuts go outwards like that. So both go facing outwards. We need to take the nut off there. The spacer goes on first. Then you put this on. Get that on there first. Put the buffing wheel on. That just wants a bit of a push on first. Put the second one on there, as you can see. And then the nut on this side, I think they are chamfered, so be careful. You put the flat edge on first. The other ends with a rounded edge goes sticking outwards, obviously. So just make a note of that. So I can tighten that up in a minute. So I'm just going to spin it round. And again, we'll take the nut off. This one I think you'll find has got a left-handed nut. Always on the left-hand side of any of these machines, the left-hand side has always got a left-handed thread. So just something to note there. And again, we put that on first. Then that. Put our buffing wheel on. Bit of a push, but you'll get there. There we go. On with that. And again, the nut goes on again. And that goes the other way around, left-hand thread. So tighten it up. So I'm going to want to tighten these up. Again, you probably need to find that you're going to have to hold back on there. So let me go and get some grips. And what it says in the instructions is just tighten these nuts enough just to, let's get their wording correctly, to grip without crushing the buffing and polishing pad. So literally, you don't want to be doing this over tight. So I'm just going to literally just nip it up, so to speak. This is a left-handed thread on this one. So that's the undo position. I've not gone too mad with it. And I'll do exactly the same with this one this side. You notice I've got these jaws protected with tape as well, so I'm not actually crushing that. So again, as you can see, I'm not over tightening these at all. 2, 3, there we go, not gone mad at all with that. So technically speaking, this should be able to spin without bolting down. They do say that, but there is provision, as I say, for 2 bolts there. So without any further ado, let's unplug, let's get the lead undone. Now it's in the off position now, just make sure before I plug it in. Okay, so that's that. Now again, before you operate any rotary machinery, especially grinders, you can wear goggles, but I've recently purchased these. I find these a lot better to protect your face as well. You can wear goggles behind them as well, so that's another thing. And they literally just slip on nice and easily and clamp up. And that's it. So it just gives you a bit more protection. So do try and get one of these if you can as well. So let's switch it on and see what we got. Right, okay, so let's turn it on. Oh, that's nice. And it's quite sturdy on the table there. So yeah, I will be fixing this. It's not as violent as the 8-inch grinder I've got over there. It's a lot more manageable. And it slows down nice and quickly as well. And don't forget, you haven't got the big mass of a big grinding disc on there. These are literally just floppy pads. This one, as I said to you, is for the coarse stuff, and that's you finish off with the fine stuff there. Now you can purchase some polishing rouge, I think you call it, from Clarke's as well. I've got these ones from Silverline. I ordered these separately online. So the coarse one is brown. 9 times out of 10 it's exactly the same with the other makes as well. And I've got the fine one, which is blue there. So your coarse one you would use on that mop, and keep the fine one for the other mop for really finely polishing sort of thing. So they're going to last an eternity, them. So you can buy them in blocks like that. They're only pretty cheap anyway. So that's what I've got there. So let's have a little look. Again, I've not used the big ones before, although I have used on many of occasions these on my little 4-inch grinder, which just isn't sort of enough. Although look at the thickness of that. So that might be okay still to use if I set me. You know, I don't want 3 grinders in the line sort of thing. It takes up so much bench space. But if I can just put 2 bolts through here, as and when I need it, just to pull the bolts out, and then I can put that to one side. So that's what I'll probably do there. But there are different coloured polishing rouges as well. Look, that one come with the other lot. That's probably more of a rougher one as well. But they do tell you when you buy them on the Machine Mark website what colour and what sort of grit they are, so to speak. So let's just open this up. All right, let's just switch it on again. And all we would do would be just to you're going to get bits fly off because they're brand new wheels basically, you know, so that is the wheel dressed. Let's just turn it off for a minute. So as you can see, we've got the brown stuff which is all over the wheel. So I've just found this old bit of copper pipe there. Let's just have a little go with this, see what we can do with this. So there we go, that's just a little quick blast there with the rough one. I'm just going to go over it with the fine one now. I'll try some fine cutter on there as well. So let's just open this one. Again, I've not used these before, I don't know what they're like. But don't mix them up, obviously. So you want to keep the fine one for the fine wheel and the rough one for the rough wheel. Right, okay, so let's just dress this wheel. just give it a slight wipe down to get all the residue off. And let's see what we're left with. As you can see there, you probably can't see it in the light properly. There we go, probably a bit better like that. There you go, very worthwhile tool. I say it doesn't take up a lot of space on your bench, but I've got 3 of these, so I'm gonna have to bolt this one on and take it off as I need it. But definitely worth having it, and it's a nice quiet machine compared to the grinder, which is that one over there. So that's a lot bigger engine on that, bigger motor on that. The beauty what you get with this one compared to the smaller one is that when you're actually pressing on there, the other one slows down near enough to a standstill, basically, where this one's got quite a powerful engine on it, motor on it, sorry, and this actually keeps going at high enough speed. So I think you can see there, that was only a couple of seconds on there really to do that, and they'll do all the same for sort of your brasses and all that sort of stuff, your soft metals like copper as well and stuff like that. So I've made a right mess of my workbench now, so I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up there. Gonna go in, have a cup of tea, because I've got a sore neck at the moment. It's a bit cold out here, although I've got my heater on. And yeah, take a look at that. It's a nice little motor. I'm very pleased with this one actually. And I'm now got the 2 buffing wheels, which was a lot of inconvenience which I before I had to keep taking one wheel off, putting another wheel on and stuff like that. This is ready to go whenever I need it. All I've got to do is unplug it, drop 2 bolts through the holes, loosely put some nuts on there, and then I'm laughing, ready to go. Undo the nuts, take it away, put it back in storage. Absolutely fine, and I've got my worktop back again. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and keep your eye out for some more videos just before Christmas. Hoping to get a couple more out, and we'll see you in the next video, and maybe live on our Saturday afternoon live stream at 4 PM UK time. Come along and join us just before Christmas. Thanks very much, see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.